Homemade cakes and cookies give a unique touch to any special occasion. Melting moments are cookies that literally melt in your mouth, and I always make them for my son Hari's birthday parties. Melting moments are perfect eggless cookies, and they are very easy to make. I'm going to start off with 100 grams 3/4 cup of plain flour. Next, I'm going to put in 30 grams to about 2 tablespoons of cornstarch or corn flour. Now I'm going to sieve this together into this bowl. This is done. Let's keep this aside for a while. In another bowl, I'm going to put in 100 grams, which is about half a cup of soft butter. I'm also going to put in half a cup, 60 grams of icing sugar or confectioner's sugar. Now you need to mix this together until it is smooth and creamy. If you don't have a stand mixer, you can always do this with a hand blender. This looks smooth and luscious and ready to take in the flour. I'm going to dip in the flour and the corn flour mixture. Corn flour or cornstarch gives a light texture to the cookies. Add a few drops of pure vanilla extract. And these cookies made with cardamom powder are perfect with your afternoon drink. If you find that your cookie dough is stiff, you can always add a few drops of milk. You need to make sure that your cookie dough is not loose, or else your cookies will melt in the oven. Now that the cookie dough is ready, you have two options. You can put the cookie dough in a piping bag fitted with a star nozzle or use a cookie press. My son Hari loves different shapes of cookies, and if you have children, it definitely helps to have a cookie press. Now I'm going to fill this dough into my cookie press. And you need not worry if you don't have a cookie press or an icing nozzle. All you need to do is make small balls out of the cookie dough and then bake them in the oven. My oven is heating at about 180 degrees centigrade, 350 degrees Fahrenheit, and I'm going to put this tray into my oven and bake these cookies. The baking time depends on the size of your cookies. If you've used an icing nozzle, then these should take about 8 minutes to bake, and if your cookies are a little larger, then they should get done in about 10 to 12 minutes. The cookies are lightly golden brown at the edges, and these beauties are done. This is homemade, and that is what makes it so special. Enjoy your melting moments and stay tuned to Divine Taste for more such recipes.
Hi guys, bored of having your same old coffee every day? Let's add some chocolate crunch to it with some eggless chocolate chip cookies. Let's start with mixing all the ingredients for the cookie dough. First, the butter goes in, soft room temperature butter. I'm going to start beating this. And I'm also going to add the icing sugar, brown sugar. I like using granulated brown sugar because it gives a nice bite to the cookie. Let's add the other ingredients. Cocoa powder, 1 tablespoon, baking powder, half a teaspoon, 1/4 teaspoon salt, vanilla essence and flour. We'll add the flour slowly not all of it at once. I'm going to add 2 tablespoons of milk just to bring everything together. And at the end, I'm going to add the chocolate chips, and I'm just going to mix everything with a spatula. Don't whisk the dough for very long, just to bring everything together. And the cookie dough is ready. I've lined the baking tray with a silicone sheet, or else you can even line it with baking paper or parchment paper. With the help of an ice cream scoop, I'm going to make nice dollops of the cookie dough. Keep enough distance between them because they're going to bake and spread. And also I'm just going to press them down a little bit with the help of a fork. Preheat the oven at 130 degrees Celsius for 10 minutes and then place your cookies in it and bake them for 12 to 15 minutes. The cookies are out of the oven. Let them cool on the tray for at least 5 minutes and then pick it up and cool them on the rack for at least half an hour. Crunchy. I'm sure you're going to try this at home. Hit the subscribe button and watch more videos. See you next time. Take care. Bye-bye.
Hello and welcome to Divine Taste with me, Anushruti. If you love cheese, then you will definitely love the biscuits that I'm going to be making today. Filled with the goodness of whole wheat flour and the rich flavors of butter and cheese, I can assure you that these biscuits are delicious beyond imagination. Cheese biscuits are very easy to make and I just can't wait to get started with it. I have over here 100 grams of butter and I'm going to put it into my bowl. And 1.5 cups, which is about 200 grams of grated cheddar cheese. I like to use unprocessed rennet-free cheddar cheese. And if you are a vegetarian, make sure that your cheese is rennet-free as well. Now I'm going to blend this with a beater until the cheese is incorporated into the butter. This is done. I'm going to keep this aside and then move on to my dry ingredient. This is about 140 grams, a cup of whole wheat flour, and into this I'm going to put in half a teaspoon of red chili powder or paprika powder. And into this I'm also going to put in 3/4 teaspoon of salt. Depending on the salt content of your cheddar cheese, adjust your salt accordingly. I'm going to give this a good mix. And then put the flour into the butter and cheese mixture. Now I'm going to mix all this up together until the flour gets mixed with the butter and the cheese. It is important not to overmix this dough, so make sure that you mix this until the dough comes together like this. The dough is now mixed and I'm going to knead this for just a minute or two and then form it into a round ball. I'm going to divide this dough into 2 halves and then form each half into a log. Now I'm going to take the remaining dough and form it into a log as well. I have 2 pieces of baking parchment or butter paper and I'm going to put the log into the paper like this. I'm going to keep the log at the edge of the paper like this and roll it up. And then I'm going to twist the ends like a toffee. I'm going to repeat this with the second log. And now I'm going to place these logs into my refrigerator to chill for about 3 to 4 hours. And when I'm in a hurry, I place these logs in the freezer compartment for about 30 minutes. I have these logs with me that have been chilling in my refrigerator, and now I'm going to carefully unwrap them. Unwrapping this cheese-laden dough is quite an exciting thing for me, as it gives me an assurance that my cookie jars are going to be filled, and it also makes sure that the snack cravings of my family are taken care of. Now I'm going to cut this log into 1/4 inch thick slices. Now I'm going to put these slices into my tray lined with baking parchment or butter paper. My oven has been heating at about 200 degrees centigrade, and now I'm going to put my tray in and bake these biscuits for about 10 to 12 minutes or until they're golden brown at the edges. Every oven is different, so watch your oven carefully. Seeing my cookie jars empty is something that I do not like. So if you are like me and love to fill your snack jars with homemade goodies, then these savory biscuits surely fit the bill. I hope you bake them and enjoy them with your friends and family. And if you liked watching this video, do not forget to subscribe. I'll see you again soon. Hi! Today I'm going to be using one of my favorite spices, saffron, to make eggless saffron cookies laced with pistachios. Apart from saffron, these exotic cookies are infused with the goodness of cardamom and nutmeg. So let's see how to make them. Take a few strands of saffron, about 1/4 teaspoon of saffron strands, and I'm going to put them in here. About 2 teaspoons of warm milk. Just going to mix it up a little. Let's keep this aside for a bit and come back to it later. I'm going to put in the seeds of 6 cardamom pods. And then let's grate some nutmeg. About 1/4 of a nutmeg should do. I'm going to grind these spices to a fine powder, and this way they will give an aromatic flavor to the cookies. This is done. Let's come back to the saffron. I'm going to crush these strands into a smooth paste. And this will reveal its gorgeous, vibrant color. Undoubtedly, saffron is the star of this recipe, and just a few strands will exude all their earthy goodness into the cookies. Okay, this is done. And now is the time to get all the ingredients together. I'm going to put in 100 grams, which is about 1/2 cup of ghee. And into the ghee, I'm going to put in 100 grams, about 1/2 cup plus 2 tablespoons of castor sugar or powdered sugar. Let's mix this up together. We need to mix this together until there are no lumps. Next, I'm going to dip in the saffron mixture. The powdered spices. Mix it all up together. About 200 grams, 1.5 cups of plain flour. Mix it up again. I'm going to be using my hands to bring the dough together. If you find that the dough is not coming together, you can use a few drops of milk to bind the dough. I'm going to put in a tablespoon of milk. Now that the dough has come together, I'm going to transfer the dough to a flat surface. I'm going to divide the dough into 2 halves. I'm going to take 1/2 of the dough and roll it into a 6-inch circle. And now is the most exciting part. I'm going to put half of the crushed pistachios all over the dough. I'm going to roll this lightly so that the pistachios stick to the surface of the dough. And then I'm going to take a round cookie cutter . This dough is a little crumbly, so you need to be careful by lifting the cookie and placing it on the tray. I'm going to repeat the same process with the other half of the dough as well. This tray is ready to go into the oven. My oven has been preheating at about 160 degrees centigrade and bake for about 15 to 20 minutes or until the cookies are lightly golden brown at the edges. The magic of all the spices, the cardamom and the nutmeg and the wonderful hints of saffron come together in this cookie, making it a delightful experience. Do make them, leave me a comment, and don't forget to subscribe. Thank you.
Today we bring you another very interesting dish, which is a simpler version of the Sindhi Loli. Very easy to make and very fast. Not as fattening but a little flattening, yes, but you can keep it for days and you can take it with you on your travel and put any flavor that you like in it. Let's see the ingredients, what we have with us today. We have 1 cup of wheat flour, the regular atta that you use, 200 grams of cream, some salt, some black and white sesame seeds. So now I'm going to start by putting my griller on, which is a simple griller which you can have at home, and we leave it to get hot. Now to my flour I'm adding a little salt, not too much but a little bit of salt. So I'm adding cream to this. No oil, no water, only cream. Do take little at a time because you don't know how much you will need. A little more to get all the dry atta mixed together. Now I like to do it with hands, so let's do that. It's not a very hard dough, nor is it a very soft dough. Just a medium pliancy dough. You just need a little bit more cream. And our bowl has been wiped clean with this dough. See how nicely it has formed? You just take all the extra atta out. Nice, soft, semi-soft, pliable dough. Now we shall keep the dough aside and get our rolling pin ready. So now our dough is ready and we're just going to take a little dry flour on our rolling board. And we have our rolling pin and we shall roll it into a thick round. See how thick our round is? It has to be at least 3/4 of an inch to an inch thick. I have this little cutter with me. You can use any shape that you want. You can make it a larger size, smaller, whatever you wish. I'm going to cut these rounds. I'm going to place them on a plate till we are ready to grill them. Now to this we are going to decorate with a little bit of the sesame seeds. So we take one roti and just put a little water on top, and we are going to take sesame seeds, white ones on one side and the black ones on the other side. So we have a nice harlequin design on our rotis. You can make any design that you want. You can just dip the whole roti into it and you'll get your, if you want a black and white mixture. There, all our lolis are ready to go into the griller now. So now our griller is getting hot and our lolis are all rolled out and ready. Now we should put them to cook. You need not put any ghee or oil below because it has the cream in it which gives it enough grease to brown evenly. And we should close our griller top and let it cook. So they're getting nicely browned, but we still need to cook them a little more. I'm going to close the lid again. So do keep checking on your lolis from time to time to see whether they have browned evenly or not. Now some of our lolis are done very well, some are still yet to be done. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to remove the ones that are done. Sometimes it's also very interesting to turn the loli around once it's halfway done and get the lines all intermingled. So it's quite interesting too. So I'm just going to turn them around. These two are just. So these lolis are also now ready. We are going to remove them. Now if you don't have a griller, don't worry, you can put these lolis on tawa and let them brown on both sides, and once they are done, gently press down with a napkin. So now we can eat these lolis with any chutney, with any vegetable, as just a simple cracker like roti. So the serving options are limitless. It tastes very good warm, it tastes very good cold also, so you take your choice. And I hope you enjoyed this episode as much as I have, and see you next time. Bye bye.